Listen, what if I told you there's only one thing that's stopping you from losing fat? And that if you actually fix this one thing, then the fat would actually come off of your body just about automatically. Now in this video, I'm going to talk about the fat loss secret that nobody actually talks about. The hidden reason why people stay stuck for years blaming workouts, trainers, and diets. And I'm going to show you the one mindset shift that high performers make that instantly unlocks fat loss, consistency, and momentum. And how fixing this single identity pattern will get you the results you've been looking for this whole time. And I ended up learning this the hard way. I spent over 10 years lifting, losing over 100 pounds cumulatively, and gaining about 25 pounds of muscle. And it wasn't until I fixed this one identity loop that I was stuck in that the fat actually started to come off. Now, I help entrepreneurs upgrade who they are so that their body changes automatically. Now, about 3 years ago, I was in this place in my life where I noticed I was consistently about 195, 200 pounds for the last couple of years. And that's me being somebody who was always in the gym, right? I was always eating just about as healthy as I could, right? I really didn't eat out much. I ate just about the same meals every day, and I really wouldn't see any gains here or there, right? There's no muscle gains in the gym. There's really no fat loss outside of the gym, and everything seemed to be very stagnant. It was like that for quite a while, and I would always wonder because I would see these massive transformations with guys who have been working out for 3 months, for 4 months, for 5 months, and they seem to just switch like that. And I would always wonder, like, why have I been in the gym consistently for this amount of time, but yet I'm still struggling seeing any progress, right? I would spend the time in the gym. It's not through lack of effort or lack of trying or lack of actually being committed to the process. But for whatever reason, my body just didn't want to change. And I was stuck in that momentum for about 2 years. Like I really wasn't finding any way up or down out of this kind of rut that I found myself in. So I kind of just maintained for a while, and I kind of went through this thing. Some stuff happened in life where I got very depressed, right? I very much got into my head. I really wasn't in the best state of mind. And I was about that way for about 2 months. I was constantly drinking, doing a bunch of stuff I shouldn't have been doing. And basically I gained a bunch of weight, right? When I say a bunch of weight, probably like 10 pounds, right? It really wasn't that much. I stopped going to the gym as frequently. I really just stopped caring. And something had happened at this point. I noticed that I was always kind of in this weird state in my mind where I felt really foggy. I felt really gross about myself. I really felt really low self-esteem. And I remember one day I woke up and I was just like, I'm over this. Like, I want to get back to my body. I want to get back to feeling like I was actually making moves, building momentum towards something. And I remember waking up this day and then I actually was like, fuck this. Like, I'm going to go back to exactly what I was doing. And on that day, I made that switch. And in that moment, I realized something. But I'm going to fast forward about 3 weeks later, and I was exactly where I was 2 months ago. But this time it was different. This time, I actually noticed I weighed less. This time I wasn't 200. This time I was 195. But my muscles seemed bigger and I felt stronger in the gym. And this was about 3 weeks later, right? It's not like some crazy amount of time had passed. I got stronger. I looked more lean. And I had this epiphany in my car when I was driving. And I was thinking to myself that I had spent the last 2 years in this zone of constantly working out and not seeing any progress. And within 3 weeks, I had made more progress than I did in the last 2 years. That's when I had realized something. That day that I had woken up and I made the decision, the intentional decision in my head of saying, fuck this. I'm gonna go back to the way it was. I'm gonna eat the food that I was eating. I'm gonna hit the gym like the way I was hitting it. And I am actually going to get the body that I've been trying to for all this time because I'm sick of not only running in circles, but consistently failing on myself. Now, why am I telling you guys this? Because this is the shift in the idea that I had in my mind when I was driving that car that day. It's the fact that things could change just about overnight. Things do not need to take 6 months, 7 months, a year, 2 years. Things could change literally like that. But all it takes is for you in your head to identify with, I'm done with this and I'm going to get this shit done. In that bed, in that morning that I woke up, I told myself I was over this. I was over being depressed. I was over being in my bed. I was over drinking. I was over feeling sorry for myself. I was over it. And I'd woken up, and that exact day I woke up, I said, I'm going back to my roots. I'm going back to living the life that I know I deserve. And I woke up and I did everything perfectly. I hit the gym the same way I would before. I ate the food the same way I would before. I would fight the cravings the same way I did before. I did everything exactly to the T. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is because this is the shift that you guys need to make in your head. The shift of, I am no longer living the life of the person who's depressed. I'm no longer living the life of somebody who isn't getting the body that I want to get. In that moment, I told myself, I'm going to train like the way somebody who would look like that train. I'm going to eat the way they eat. I'm going to act the way they act. And in that very moment, that is exactly what I did. I went back to it, and not even 3 weeks later, I was more advanced than I had been in the last 2 years. So it's not a you need to wait all this time, because a lot of people try to wait a lot of time. They're like, oh, this is going to take a long time. No, it can happen like that. The moment you decide to actually make a change for yourself is the moment that things will change. It starts now, no tomorrow. A lot of people say, I'll start my diet tomorrow. No, you start right now. Because people fail to realize that the change that they're looking for isn't something that you will eventually get to. It's something that you can choose to do right now, right? I chose to work out like somebody who had a six-pack abs. I chose to eat like somebody who already had six-pack. I chose to diet the way somebody would if they had six-pack. That is the identity. The hard part about this is that you need to lead the way first and your body follows. The identity shift that I'm talking about, in the idea that things in the world do not come first and then you act as if. People think that people are rich and then they get confident, when really the way it works is people are confident and then they get rich. It's the reverse of the egg or the chicken, right? It's a reverse of that. So in order to get the body that you've been wanting, right? Because let's be honest, bro, you've seen so many goddamn fitness videos on YouTube. You've looked up probably hundreds of hours of fitness videos. The knowledge is there. You don't need more knowledge. You need an internal shift in yourself. You need the ability to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm over it. I know exactly what I have to do, and I'm just going to execute. I'm going to act as if I am that person already, who already has a six-pack abs, who already has a killer physique, who already goes to the gym effortlessly, right? No matter where you are in your stage of fitness, you can make that transformation right now. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, okay? This is going to be, I may lose you here, but this is the exact shift that I made in order to do this. So if you're with me and you just keep an open mind here and do this with me, you're going to notice a huge difference when whatever problem that it is that you're suffering for. Maybe you can't be consistent in the gym, right? Maybe you can't stop binge eating, right? Maybe you can't stick to your diet. Whatever it is, it comes from this. It comes from the fact that you as yourself are not the person who deserves the six-pack abs, but we are going to change that right now. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you grab a piece of paper. I need you to actually do this, because if you just say and you watch this and you don't actually do it, it's not going to work for you. So I need you to grab a piece of paper and write this down. I want you to write down what you would look like with the body of your dreams. How would you act? How would you talk? How would you move? How would you eat? What does that person look like? Right? Give him a name, right? Give him a gesture. Give him something that he does. When I did this is what I did. I wrote down that he was charismatic. He was lighthearted. He was very light on his feet. And he did this thing where he would grab his wrist. And what I would do is whenever I forgot that I was that guy, I would mimic that exact motion. I would grab my wrist and put on a smile, because that's what he would do. And doing that reinforced that image of, this guy's fit, this guy's electric, this guy's gonna hit the gym, this guy's gonna fucking crush it, right? So I want you to write down exactly what that guy would look like. How would he act? How would he talk? What would he eat on a daily basis? How would he be? And I want you to write down on that piece of paper, and I want you to read it back to yourself. Now, when you do this, what you're gonna notice is he's kind of like, if you could visualize it, he's kind of like a character. He's you, but he's just a different version of you. like a parallel universe of sorts. And what you're going to do, once you read it back to yourself a couple times, you're going to close your eyes and you're going to imagine, what does it feel like to be him? What does it feel like to have a six pack, right? What does it feel like to be able to lift that amount of weight? What does it feel like to not go to sleep bloated? What does it feel like to go to the beach and just take your shirt off with no care in the world because you know you look good, right? What does it feel like? How does he move? How does he talk? How does he act? And I want you to just visualize it for about 3 to 4 or 5 minutes. Just close your eyes and just imagine, like as if you were him right now. Like as if he just put himself into your body and you are internalizing that. And I just want you to breathe on that, right? Just breathe and imagine what it would be like to always hit the gym, to never miss that workout, to always eat the right food, to always make the right decision. What would it feel like? And after you do that for 3 to 5 minutes, take a deep breath and let it out. Now do this 3 times a week, in the morning and at night. And what you're going to start to notice is you're going to start to notice a shift. Because when you put yourself in that line of I am already him, you're going to start to notice fitness seems a little bit easier. You're going to start to show up to the gym with a little bit easier, right? You're going to start hitting the gym when you don't necessarily feel like it, right? You're going to start to walk a little bit different, right? Your lifts are going to be a little bit more powerful. The identity shift of this is what's going to make you actually make fitness effortless. You're not going to have to worry about this side of your life anymore. Because let's be honest, like I said earlier, you already have all the information. All the information to do everything's out there. You could get whatever results you want with any diet, with any workout plan, with any fitness trainer. It doesn't matter. It all works. But it doesn't work for the person. None of them work for the person who doesn't deserve it, who doesn't feel like they are that person. So that's why you need to internalize this one shift. You need to make that shift in yourself that you are that person already. Because no matter what diet you do, no matter what fitness plan, no matter what trainer you get, you're going to consistently fall short if you do not internalize you being the guy who already has a six pack, who already has the abs, who already has the movement and the confidence. Because I could give you every single information that I've learned over the last 10 years of what are the best splits to do and what are the best lifts and how much cardio you should do daily. Like I could give you all of that, and I will give you all of that, right? So you actually know how to do it. But nothing's going to change until you change. And like I said earlier, you can change not in 6 months, not in a year, not in 2 years, right now. So do the exercises. Do it three times a week. Do it more if you like. These exercises shouldn't take very long. Take about 10 minutes. Do them every day. Very much visualize yourself into that. Don't half-ass it. Believe it like if it already works. Like if you were already that person, you have to believe it. If you don't believe it, it's not going to work. So anyways, guys, a lot of people don't talk about this. A lot of people, especially in the fitness industry, really try to strive away from all of like the woo-woo stuff. The woo-woo stuff is what puts it all together, okay? So if you actually try this and you see results, leave me a comment, let you know. And let me know that it actually worked for you. Let me know that you like it. And then if you do want to work with me personally to make this process a way more faster for you, go ahead and hit me up in the description below. I have a link to a video to go ahead and work on me one-on-one, okay, guys? So anyways, you have a good rest of your day. And if you need the actual facts, like let's say you get through this and you're like, yes, I'm killing it at the gym. I know exactly what I need to do, but I just can't do I just can't seem to lose the weight because I don't know the actual logic, the actual things I physically need to do in the gym, then make sure to watch this video right here.